Welcome back to The Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of information, different resources, and really boil it down to the most useful, sometimes surprising insights. And today we're navigating something that seems simple but is actually, well, quite powerful. It's about using the present moment to talk about the future, specifically a very solid, fixed future.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like a grammar puzzle, doesn't it? But it's honestly one of the most efficient shortcuts in everyday English. We're talking about the present continuous tense.
Right, the verbing one, the one we usually think of for things happening, like right now.
Exactly.
Right.
But the twist is using it for future plans. And not just any plans that are, 100% confirmed, locked down. If you want your scheduled talk to sound definite, not just wishful thinking, well, this is the deep dive you need.
Yeah, because it's not just about getting the structure right, is it? It's about understanding the message you're sending.
Yeah.
When you use this tense for the future, you're basically declaring certainty.
You're signaling commitment. A decision has been made. Arrangements are finalized. It could be something casual, like grabbing coffee, or something huge, like a major project launch.
Okay, so we're going to unpack that commitment aspect. We'll look at the subtle difference between just intending to do something and having it actually scheduled. We'll cover the essential vocabulary you need to make those arrangements in the first place.
Right, the negotiation part.
Yeah, exactly. And how to use this whole thing smoothly, whether you're chatting with friends or, coordinating in a professional setting where certainty really matters.
So the mission today, confidence. By the end of our chat, you should feel totally comfortable using statements like, I'm meeting my friend tomorrow, or we're traveling next weekend.
And crucially, understanding why saying I'm traveling next weekend feels so much more concrete, more solid than saying I'm going to travel next weekend.
Precisely. Let's get into the mechanics of the fixed schedule. Okay, section 1, the grammar pivot. Let's start with the basics. The default use most people learn first. Present continuous is for actions happening right now.
Yeah, the classic textbook example. I'm talking, you're listening. She is reading a book.
Yeah.
It's describing something in progress at this very moment.
That's our baseline. But here's the pivot, the key insight for today. The same structure, the amisr plus verbing, it's also used for future plans, but only a specific kind of future plan.
Right.
It's for fixed future arrangements, things that are already planned, scheduled, confirmed. Think of it like this. The action itself is in the future, but the arranging part, the scheduling, that's already done. It's complete now. So the certainty that the tense usually applies to the present action gets transferred to the certainty of the future arrangement.
Exactly. It's a neat little grammatical shortcut.
Let's maybe call this commitment language, because that's what it feels like. When you use the present continuous for the future, you're signaling a strong commitment.
That's a great way to put it, commitment language.
So if I say, I'm signing the lease on Tuesday morning, that sounds very definite. It suggests the appointment is made, the landlord expects me.
The time is set. It's not just an idea you had, it's a scheduled event. It's practically a done deal, just waiting for Tuesday morning to arrive.
And that feeling of certainty, it comes partly from the continuous form itself, doesn't it? That verbing gives a sense of something ongoing, something already in motion.
Well, yes. The structure implies something is underway.
Okay.
And when you add that future time marker tomorrow, next week, it shifts the focus. It means the process of arranging is what's already underway, or rather completed, and it's set to execute that future point.
Okay, let's walk through some more examples of this commitment language in action, maybe a work scenario.
Sure. If you hear the team is launching the new software update tomorrow morning, what does that tell you?
It tells me it's happening. It's not a hope to, it's a plan is. The schedule is fixed, engineers are probably on standby, the date is firm.
It's exactly high commitment. Or think about travel. Travel requires certainty. If someone says, I'm flying to Frankfurt next month for the trade show.
Right. I immediately assume tickets are bought, hotels likely booked, the dates are firm in their calendar. It's way beyond just, I might go to Frankfurt sometime.
Precisely. It implies all the necessary arrangements have been made. Or even for personal things, maybe smaller scale, but still definite.
Like, we're celebrating my dad's 60th birthday next Saturday.
Yeah. That tells you plans are made. Maybe invites sent, a place booked. It's a fixed family event. The logistics are sorted.
Okay, and we use it for really mundane stuff too, right? Everyday appointments, absolutely. Think about, I'm having my dental checkup at 4:30 this afternoon. That's not a spontaneous decision. It's a pre-booked slot. You probably got a reminder text about it?
Probably. Or, our plumber's coming at 9 a.m. sharp tomorrow. You arrange that, you're expecting them, you've probably cleared your morning. That's a commitment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the commitment aspect is clear. Now, the technical side. You mentioned the structure, subject plus amisar plus verbing. But there's a crucial extra piece needed for the future use. Yes, absolutely critical. You must include a future time expression. Without it, the default meaning kicks back in that the action is happening right now.
So words like
tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, later today, at 3 p.m. on Friday in 2 months.
Yeah.
You need that anchor point in the future.
It's the thing that pulls the meaning away from now and places it firmly in the later but definitely scheduled category.
Exactly. It's the linguistic lever that shifts the tense's function.
Let's explore that requirement a bit more. What if someone, maybe learning English, forgets that time anchor? They just say, I'm presenting the report.
Well, the immediate automatic assumption of the listener will be that they are presenting it right now, as we speak.
Okay. So it could cause real confusion.
Complete confusion. You have to be explicit. I'm presenting the report at the quarterly meeting next Tuesday. That phrase, at the quarterly meeting next Tuesday, gives the specific future coordinates.
So that time marker isn't just helpful, it's mandatory for this future meaning.
It's the functional switch. Without it, the future meaning doesn't activate. It defaults back to present action. Very important for clarity.
Right. Okay, so we know the structure, we know the why, the commitment, and we know the how, needing that future time marker. How do we get good at spotting the difference in real time? When we hear verbing, how do we instantly know now or later? It really comes down to listening for those context clues, and 99% of the time, that clue is the time expression, or sometimes the lack of one, implying now.
Okay, let's analyze some examples. If someone says, I'm finishing this email right now.
The right now locks it firmly into the present moment. It emphasizes immediacy. Same with, they're watching a movie at the moment. The time phrase confirms the action is currently in progress. And you mentioned the lack of a time marker often defaults to now as well.
Yeah, usually. If the context makes it obvious, like if I walk into your office, see you typing furiously, and ask, what are you doing? And you say, I'm drafting the proposal.
Right, you don't need to add right now because you can see me doing it. The situation provides the now context.
Precisely. The physical context makes the time marker redundant. But now, let's pivot back to the future arrangements. How do those time markers work?
Okay, so if I say, I'm having a call in an hour.
That phrase, in an hour, clearly signposts that the action is not happening now. The arrangement is made, yes, but the execution is delayed until that future point.
It pushes it forward. What about the range? Does it matter if it's near future or distant future?
Not for the grammar, no. The commitment level is the same. We're going hiking this afternoon is a fixed plan for later today.
Okay, short term.
And we're starting our sabbatical next summer is a fixed plan much further out.
Long term, but still sounds very definite.
Exactly. Both use the present continuous. Both rely on that time reference, this afternoon, next summer, to anchor them in the future, and both signal a high degree of certainty about the plan.
Okay, I want to push on something you said earlier about the time marker being non-negotiable. Is that always true? Are there situations, maybe more advanced ones, where it can be implied?
That's a really sharp question. Yes, there are contexts, usually professional or highly specialized ones, where shared understanding allows a time marker to be omitted if the schedule is already implicitly understood by everyone involved.
Okay, like how? Give me an example.
Imagine a project team. They've been talking for weeks about the big annual conference happening next Tuesday. Everyone knows the date. Someone on the team might say, okay, people, I'm finalizing the presentation slides.
And everyone just knows they mean the slides for the Tuesday conference, not some random slides they happen to be working on right now.
Exactly. The shared context, the known fixed date of the conference, acts as an implicit time anchor. The commitment is understood because the event itself is a known, scheduled reality for that group.
So maybe in a hospital setting, too, a surgeon talking to the team might say, right, I'm operating on Mrs. Jones next.
Precisely. And everyone understands that refers to the next slot on the surgical schedule for that day, which is absolutely fixed. Operating rooms run on confirmed schedules. There's no room for ambiguity.
So the system itself provides the certainty and the implied time frame, like flight schedules, court dockets, places where things run on rails.
In those high-stakes environments, the present continuous is used because commitment is paramount. The context reinforces the future time. But crucially, for everyday conversation, especially outside those very specific contexts,
always include the time marker.
Always. It just prevents any potential misunderstanding. Assume the listener doesn't share your implicit context unless you're absolutely certain they do.
Okay, that makes sense. It's fascinating how this grammatical structure is so efficient. It borrows the feeling of definitely happening from the present tense use and just redirects it to a future point using that time marker.
It transforms an observation about now to a declaration about later. Very neat.
Okay, so we've got a good handle on stating these fixed plans, this commitment language. Let's rewind a step. How do we actually make the plans in the first place? What's the vocabulary we need before we can confidently say, okay, I'm meeting you at 3?
Ah, yes. The language of arrangement. This is where, social skills and politeness come into play just as much as grammar. You need the right phrases to check if someone's available, suggest things, and lock it down without sounding pushy or vague.
Right. It's a negotiation, really. It is. We can sort of break the vocabulary down into maybe 3 phases: initiating, negotiating, and confirming. Okay, phase 1, initiating. How do you check if someone might even be free? You typically start gently, testing availability. Common phrases are things like, are you free on Saturday? Or maybe slightly more formal, are you available sometime next week? These are direct questions about time slots. Okay, calendar checking questions. What about softer ways to initiate?
You could use things like, what time shall we meet? Which assumes you will meet, but leaves the time open. Or the classic, very flexible, how about coffee on Tuesday?
And you mentioned formality. Are you free? Feels pretty standard for most situations.
Yeah, very versatile. Works for colleagues, friends, pretty much anyone. How about? It's definitely more casual, good for suggesting specific ideas with people you know well. Okay, so you've initiated. The other person responds. Now we're in phase 2, negotiating. This is where those fixed plans we already have might come up. Right. This is where you might need to state your limitations using the present continuous commitment language we've been discussing. You might say, well, I'm having a client call until 2 p.m. on Tuesday, but I'm free after that.
Using your existing fixed plan, I'm having a call, to define your availability.
Precisely. Or you might need to politely stall or express uncertainty if you can't commit immediately. Instead of a blunt no, you'd use phrases like,
something like, I'm not sure yet. Let me check my calendar.
Perfect. Or, I don't think Friday's looking good because I'm visiting my sister then, but maybe Saturday could work. It's about managing expectations politely while referencing your existing commitments. Okay, managing the back and forth. Then, hopefully, you land on a time that works for everyone. That brings us to phase 3. Confirming. How do you lock it down? You need clear, positive language that signals the deal is done. Often, this moves into a direct suggestion using let's. It's like, okay, great, let's meet at 3 p.m. at the cafe then.
Making it concrete, and then the final agreement. Simple confirmations work well. Sounds good, or perfect, or even, great, consider it done. I like that one. Or you sometimes hear, okay, I'll pencil that in.
Yeah, that's a nice idiom. It means I'm adding it to my schedule now. The signal's confirmation.
Okay, let's look at that coffee meeting dialogue example you provided. We can trace these phases.
Right.
It starts with initiation. Hey, are you free on Saturday afternoon? I wanted to talk about that proposal. Open-ended, checking the general time window. Then the response brings in negotiation and limitation using our commitment language. I'm working on a deliverable until midday on Saturday. There's the fixed plan stated, but I'm free afterward. I'm thinking I'm finishing up around 1 p.m. They state their fixed commitment, I'm working, and then estimate their availability based on another anticipated completion. I'm finishing up. Okay. The first person accepts that limitation and makes a specific proposal. Okay, great. How about we meet for coffee then? Let's say 3 p.m. at the usual spot. That's the concrete suggestion, moving towards confirmation. And notice the final confirmation isn't just a simple yes. It's emphatic. Sounds good. 3 p.m. on Saturday is locked down.
Locked down. That really reinforces the commitment. It signals the end of negotiation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole sequence check availability, state limitations, suggest specifics, confirm firmly. That's the blueprint for making a solid arrangement.
Okay, let's try applying this in a slightly longer, more involved scenario. Making weekend plans with friends seems like a perfect place where this happens naturally, definitely. Let's imagine someone kicking it off. Maybe they text the group, hey everyone, what are you doing this weekend? Thinking of organizing something small. That what are you doing often implies, what fixed plans do you already have? And the first reply might immediately use commitment language to set boundaries. Oh, hey, well, on Saturday, I'm visiting my grandparents out of town, so I'm basically tied up all day. We're actually driving quite a way, see? I'm visiting, we're driving. Fixed plans stated clearly. Then they offer an alternative, but Sunday looks totally free for me. Okay, so the organizer takes that info and proposes their idea, framing it as something already in motion. Ha, got it about Saturday. Okay, well, good news is we're planning a picnic in the park on Sunday afternoon. We're planning. Suggests the idea is already quite developed. Maybe others are involved. Then they add specifics. We're starting around 4 p.m. Does that work? Want to join us? And the person joining gets enthusiastic, confirming their attendance, and immediately jumping to logistics because they accept the plan is fixed. Oh, Sunday picnic. That sounds amazing. Yes, I'm definitely joining. Count me in. What are you guys bringing? Need me to grab anything? The shift to logistics shows acceptance. And the response confirms details, again using commitment language. Awesome. Yeah, we're bringing drinks and some games. We're meeting near the main fountain at 4 p.m. sharp. We're meeting, all scheduled actions. And the person joining adds their own commitment. Perfect. In that case, I'm baking a batch of my famous cookies. I'll bring those. I'm baking another future action locked in. Look how dense that conversation is with the present continuous for future plans. I'm visiting. We're driving. We're planning. We're starting. I'm joining. We're bringing. We're meeting. I'm baking. Wow. Yeah. When you break it down like that, it's everywhere.
It's completely natural for coordinating social plans. It's the sound of a schedule coming together and being concerned. Okay, this feels like a good point to tackle the really crucial nuance, the thing that often trips people up. The difference between this present continuous for the future and the other main way we talk about the future using going to. Yes, this is critical. They both talk about the future, obviously, but they signal very different things about your level of certainty and commitment.
So let's nail this down. Present continuous, as we've established, is commitment language. It's for the fixed, scheduled reality. I'm meeting the new client tomorrow morning.
Appointment made, calendar entry exists, failure to attend is a problem. It's externally confirmed, usually.
Okay. Now, going to, I'm going to meet the new client tomorrow morning. What's the difference in feeling there?
Going to generally signals an intention, or maybe a plan that you've decided on internally, but it might not be fully confirmed or scheduled with the other party yet.
So it's more about your decision or plan rather than a finalized arrangement.
Exactly. Think of it like this. I've decided that meeting the client tomorrow is my plan, but maybe the exact time isn't set, or maybe the client hasn't confirmed yet. It's a plan in your head, potentially, but not necessarily a fixture in the shared schedule. So present continuous, stronger commitment, more fixed, less likely to change.
Definitely the stronger form. Leaves much less wiggle room. Let's try a simple non-work example to feel the difference.
Okay.
I'm buying a new phone tomorrow using the present continuous.
Okay, that sounds like. Maybe you've ordered it online for pickup, or you know exactly which store and model and you've set aside time. The decision and logistics feel done, right?
Yeah.
Now compare with, I'm going to buy a new phone tomorrow. Using going to act, that feels more like, tomorrow's the day I've decided I'll tackle the phone buying task. But maybe you still need to research models, check store hours, figure out when you'll actually go. It's the plan, the intention, but the details might be fuzzy. Precisely. The intention is clear, but the concrete arrangement isn't necessarily implied by going to.
This distinction must be really important in social situations, too. Using the wrong one could send the wrong signal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you use going to for something that actually is a firm appointment, I'm going to meet Sarah for lunch at 1.
Yeah.
It might sound a little flaky, like you're not fully committed.
Right. And the other way around. Using present continuous for something that's just a vague idea.
Yeah, that could sound strange too. If your friend asks your plans for the evening and you say, I'm cleaning my apartment tonight, but really you just vaguely thought you should clean.
But you haven't actually committed to doing it at any specific time.
Right. You're stating a level of definite scheduling that doesn't exist. In that case, I'm probably going to clean my apartment tonight, or I need to clean my apartment tonight would be more accurate, reflecting the intention or obligation rather than a fixed schedule slot.
Okay. So matching the grammar to the actual level of commitment is key for clear communication.
Crucial. And this becomes even more critical in professional settings where ambiguity can have real consequences.
Yeah, let's raise the stakes. Think about a big corporate announcement like a merger.
Okay. Imagine the CEO is briefing the senior team. If the CEO says, we're announcing the merger date on December 1st, present continuous.
That sounds final, like press releases are drafted, legal is signed off, the date is set in stone. It's happening.
Exactly. Commitment language suitable for a major event. Now, what if the CEO said, we're going to announce the merger date on December 1st?
That sounds less certain. Like, our plan is for December 1st, but maybe there are still regulatory approvals pending or final details being ironed out that could potentially shift that date.
Precisely. It introduces a slight element of conditionality or lack of final confirmation. In high-stakes business communication, that subtle difference matters hugely. You need certainty.
So, in business, for things like confirmed meetings, deadlines, travel itineraries, things that are locked down, using the present continuous isn't just an option. It's basically required to convey the necessary certainty. It's the standard way to communicate that logistics are handled, schedules are firm. Let's run through our final scenario. A professional context, someone describing a packed, confirmed schedule. This is where the efficiency really shines. Okay, setting the scene. Maybe someone is asking about managing workload. I see your schedule looks pretty intense this week. How's the audit timeline looking? And the response comes back, packed with commitment language. Yeah, it's busy. The auditors are reviewing the Q3 financials all day today. Fixed event. Then I'm starting my negotiation meeting with the vendors at 8 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning. Scheduled appointment.
And I'm briefing the regional managers immediately after that wraps up. Another scheduled meeting back-to-back. These aren't optional intentions. They're calendar items.
It's so concise. It paints a picture of a sequence of definite events without needing to add, and that's confirmed. After each one, the grammar does the work. Okay, what about longer-term things like travel and the big Singapore presentation next week? The response would maintain that certainty. All set. We're flying to Singapore on Sunday evening. Tickets booked. I'm presenting the sales strategy to the APAC team on Monday afternoon. Meeting scheduled, and we're returning late Tuesday. Return flights booked. Again, the whole complex trip flights, meetings, return, all communicated with the present continuous because the arrangements are firm.
If any part of that was phrased with going to, I'm going to fly to Singapore, I'm going to present.
It would immediately plant a seed of doubt. You'd wonder, wait, have the flights actually been booked? Is the meeting fully confirmed?
Exactly. It would likely prompt follow-up questions to verify the commitment level. The present continuous anticipates and answers that need for certainty. It's the language of it's handled.
So, in essence, using the present continuous for future plans in a professional context is about efficiently transferring the confirmed reality from your schedule, your calendar, into the shared understanding, making it unambiguous for everyone.
It's a perfect summary. It removes ambiguity and confirms shared commitment.
Wow. Okay, that was a really thorough exploration. We've gone from the basic idea to some pretty fine nuances and practical applications. It feels like we've really covered the power of using the present for the definite future.
Yeah, it's a small grammatical point with big implications for clear communication. So maybe let's recap the absolute key takeaways for everyone listening.
Good idea. 3 main pillars, maybe. Sounds right. Pillar 1. Master the structure and its key component. Remember, it's subject plus armisar plus verbing, but crucially, you need that future time expression tomorrow at 5 p.m. next month. That's the anchor, right? No time anchor, no future meaning, usually. Pillar 2, get comfortable with the vocabulary for actually making the arrangements, knowing how to politely check availability. Are you free? Negotiate, I'm busy until, and confirm. Sounds good? Let's lock it in. The social mechanics are vital. And pillar 3, really internalize the crucial difference in meaning. The present continuous signals a confirmed fixed plan. It's commitment language. It's stronger and more definite than going to, which signals intention or an unconfirmed plan. Fixed plan versus intention. Got it. Okay, now for the practical application part. We want you, listening right now, to take this knowledge and use it immediately. Think about your own schedule for, say, the next day or two.
Yeah, turn those vague intentions floating in your head into concrete scheduled realities, at least in how you phrase them. Here's your challenge. Say 3 sentences out loud, right now, using the present continuous structure for confirmed future plans you have, and resist the urge to use going to. Make them real things for your schedule. Maybe I'm paying my phone bill online tonight, if that's a definite plan.
Or I'm having a video call with my sister tomorrow afternoon, if that call is actually scheduled.
Or perhaps I'm taking the car in for its service on Friday morning. If the appointment is booked, say them out loud. Feel the certainty in the structure.
Exactly. Get that commitment language flowing.
Because ultimately, the power here is about cutting through ambiguity. It's the difference between maybe and definitely. This grammar lets you turn a possibility discussed into a reality declared. So the final thought to leave you with. What's one important commitment, one fixed plan that you're going to state clearly using the present continuous right after this deep dive? Put that certainty out there. Excellent challenge. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the language of scheduling and certainty. It's been really insightful.
My pleasure. It's a powerful tool to have.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.